and thank you for joining today's live reading of Bake Happy, Book 3 of the Bake Believe Trilogy by Cori Cooper, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Chocolate Lava Cupcakes. Why am I still in this kitchen? I'll tell you why. It's because these stinking cupcakes are taking forever and a day and a half to finish baking. Seriously, I might still be stuck in here when I'm 80 years old, staring at the timer on the oven like a creepy cupcake stalker. I fold my arms, squeezing them against my side so I'm not tempted to open the oven door. The baker in me knows opening the oven too soon can be the difference between puffed perfection and flat failure. But I really want to check on them. I'm itching to check on them. I might die if I don't check on them. Okay, not really, but I'm under some stress right now, so I think I'm allowed to be mildly dramatic. If I don't leave the house in 20 minutes with these things, I'm going to be late for Bubby's class party. It's the monthly birthday bash, so it's kind of a big thing. Not only do the cupcakes need to finish baking, but they need to cool enough that when I sprinkle the powdered sugar on top, it doesn't melt to oblivion. Also, I have to pack them up, and then it takes 7 minutes to walk to the elementary school. Well, 5 if I jump the Halls' back fence, though technically I'm not supposed to do that anymore. I'm not stellar at math, but even I know this isn't going to add up. Ugh. Okay, I have to think. Big brain time. What are my options? Obviously, flying or teleporting are out. It's really too bad because both would come in super handy right now. Walking will take way too long. I guess I could ride my bike. No, that's not going to work. Where would I put 3 dozen cupcakes? Wait, I could get a ride. Yes! That is the solution for sure. I'll have help carrying the cupcakes, and I'll get to the school way faster than walking or riding a bike. Good work, brain! Except, Dad's at work, and Mom's running errands. Neither one of them will be back in time to drive me anywhere. I wonder if Tia is home. I pull my phone out of my back pocket and start to enter my password to unlock the screen when I hear the telltale creak of the back door opening behind me. My heart thumps in my chest as if it's all hopped up on pixie sticks. My phone slips out of my fingers and would hit the floor, except I have excellent reflexes. Ha, like a cat. I whip around, holding my phone up as if it morphed into a taser. It is turquoise and sparkly and the total opposite of intimidating, but it's got to be better than nothing, right? The door opens all the way, and instead of a big, scary, hairy bad guy, I see Marissa peek her cute, blonde head inside the house. Her eyes widen at my shaking phone pointing toward her face. My arms turn into jello and flop down to my sides. Then my legs do the same thing, so I have to sink into one of the kitchen chairs or fall on my keister. I drop my phone on the table and push my hair back with both my hands. You scared the gumdrops out of me, Marissa! My words come out in raspy wheezes. Tia opens the door the rest of the way and steps inside the kitchen. A whoosh of cold air fills the room, cooling my cheeks. Lo siento, sobrina. I didn't think anyone was home. Why are you still here? Your mama told me last night you were taking treats to Andy's class party today. I nod and stretch my arms above my head. Thank goodness my heart is finally slowing down. For a second there, I thought it was going to pound right out of my mouth. Now it's sliding back down my throat so I can talk like a normal person again. I am if the dang things ever decide to set up in the middle. Don't say dang, Mia. Marissa walks to the oven and pushes the light button to peer inside. What are you making? It smells so good. I sigh and lean forward to mush my cheeks into my hands. Chocolate lava cupcakes. Ah, see, you are becoming quite the baker. Normally, I glow like a jellyfish at this kind of praise, especially when it comes to my baking, but right now I feel like a nincompoop. Bubby and the rest of his kindergarten class would be just as happy with store-bought cupcakes. They love the kind with technicolored icing that stains your teeth. I could have biked to the store, picked up a couple boxes, dropped them off, and done my nails in the amount of time it's taking to bake these things. And then I would have had pretty nails. Instead, I'm getting gray hairs watching the oven timer because I had to be all fancy and experiment. When I had the idea to take Aunt JoJo's chocolate molten lava cake recipe and turn it into cupcakes, it was brilliant and inspired. Now it seems completely idiotic. Why am I making something that is impossible to check for doneness because it's supposed to be gooey in the middle? Cat, cat, cat. Baking rule number 1. Never experiment when there's a time crunch or if you're baking for something important. Apparently, I just make up those rules so I can break them. What should I do, Tia? I pick up the oven mitts and slap them against my leg. I need to pull the cupcakes out or I'll be late, but there's a really real chance they might be complete mush. This is a dilemma. Marissa studies me with a smile, tickling the corners of her mouth. Maybe the cupcakes were put in the oven later than they should have been, eh? I wonder why you didn't get started sooner. The heat creeps up my neck without my permission. Now, why did Tia have to go and ask that? Perhaps you were distracted. She leans forward, her big, bright blue eyes sparkling. The oven beeps the 1-minute warning. I praise the name of GE and resist the urge to give it a sloppy smooch. It's not that weird. JoJo kisses her commercial mixer all the time. I pull on the oven mitts and quickly remove all 3 cupcake trays from the oven racks when the timer finally goes off. Marissa reaches over to turn off the oven, since it's still beeping obnoxiously, while I flap my hands over the cupcakes. This will make them cool faster, I'm pretty sure. Take them outside, it's so cold today. Marissa gives her elbows and shivers dramatically. Why didn't I think of that? I was contemplating putting them in the freezer, even though the last time I did that, my mom lost her breath lecturing me about broiling hot pans and icy cold freezers. Apparently, I speed defrosted a bunch of meat for dinner that night. She probably should have thanked me for that instead of sentencing me to dish duty for a week. I shoot a smile at Tia over my shoulder and grab 2 of the trays. I consider balancing the 3rd one on top, then have visions of chocolatey goo all over the floor and my feet. It's probably a sign from the head bakers in the sky. I think I will not do that. I take the first trays out, set them on the picnic table Dad built last summer, and dash back inside for the last one. My feet are freezing. It's April, for Ganesh's sake. Spring. It should not be this ridiculously cold outside. When I get all 3 settled, I speed back into the house and take a seat next to the window. I'm not letting those cupcakes out of my sight. They are at risk from passing pedestrians on the walking path and ambitious squirrels. I'm just hoping, with all this hubbub, Marissa forgot what she asked me before. She loads the dishwasher with my baking mess and looks too consumed with the chore to remember embarrassing questions. I think I'm off the hook, which is super good news because blushing makes me tomato red, and that is so not my color. Cat? I bat my eyelashes. Yes? Don't you be so cute with me, Nina. I've known you since before you were born. Your tricks won't work. It's tragic to admit how true that is. I don't think any of my distraction techniques have ever worked on Marissa. Fine, yes, I could have gotten the cupcakes in the oven sooner, or whatever. Mm-hmm. I purse my lips at her mocking face. Okay, seriously, how do you know? Marissa waves a wooden spoon in the air like a magic wand, spraying me with a few droplets of water. Oh, a little bird told me. That's what I thought. There's only one bird around these parts that sings like a canary. Robin! Marissa holds out her palms. Now, she wasn't spilling any frijoles. She called me because your phone was busy. Mm-hmm. I mimic with a sassy flip of my head. Marissa grabs a dish towel from the counter and swats my back with it. Ornery cat! Where does your mama keep the dishwasher pods? Under the sink, but we use the liquid stuff, not pods. Marissa pours soap in the doohickey and locks the dishwasher door. It starts automatically with a click and a whoosh of water. That's the most beautiful sound in the world, mostly because it means I don't have to wash the dishes. Then she sits in the chair across the table and fixes me in her soul-searching gaze. Good thing I already decided not to hide anything from her, because I am totally doomed when she looks at me that way. Bye-bye secrets. Toby called to ask me to bring a volleyball to the park today, but then I had to explain that I wouldn't be there because I volunteered to take treats to Bubby's class. That took me a while, mostly because I had to jazz it up to make it sound more exciting. Then Toby and I got in a yes-no war because he wanted to come help me. But I knew if he did, I would totally make a mess of the cupcakes, which I probably did anyways because molten lava cakes are finicky enough without me trying to turn them into cupcakes. I paused to take a deep breath and accidentally glance at Tia's face. Now my ears feel sunburned, like my neck, but I can't stop talking. I must finish what I start. Dang it. So that lasted forever, and then he had to go on and on about how Friday half day at the park is so much funner when I'm there, and then I had to flirt a little bit and say something awesome like, no, you're funner. And then my mom came in and told me she was going to the store to pick up stuff, but wouldn't tell me what, so I had to pester her about it until she ran out the door, and then I started making cupcakes. That's the whole story except the part where I was about to call you to see if you can give me a ride to the school. Do you think the cupcakes are cool enough now? Maria presses her lips together, making the dimples in her cheeks deepen. I would be delighted to give you a ride, and I think it is worth it to check. When I push my chair back, it makes a loud screech on the floor. You're the bestest. Hold on, I'll go check on them. I hurry outside, hopping on one foot and then the other to keep one from getting so cold it freezes to the concrete forever and always. I've never actually heard of that happening, but I'm not about to find out if it's possible. I have seen many impossible things in the last 6 months. It's gotten so I pretty much believe in everything now. The cupcakes aren't steaming anymore, and the muffin tin feels cool enough to grab without an oven mitt. This time I take my chances with balancing all three because it's freezing and I still don't have any socks or shoes on. Full disclosure, I bake barefoot. I'm so glad we could share this moment. Back inside, I slam the door shut with my heel and drop the trays on the kitchen island. Marissa jumps up to help me remove the cupcakes to the cooling racks I set out on the counter ages ago. Really, it feels like a lifetime. Staring at clocks has this weird way of messing with my mind. Like, I can still kind of see the green glowing numbers from the oven clock behind my eyelids when I blink. And also, I can't remember what my life was like before I started obsessing about the timer. Marissa holds one of the cupcakes up to the light and examines it from a couple different angles. Oh, bueno, gata. They look perfect. Yeah? Oh, yeah. She tips her hand in my direction. Look how they hold the shape when I squeeze. Not too gooey, just right. Really? Do you really think they're okay? I squint. Maybe they are really fine. Nobody says cupcakes have to be perfect to be good. And also, 6-year-olds will eat anything, even cupcake wrappers. Unfortunately, I know that from experience. Maybe I should do a poison check. Marissa's voice is totally innocent, but when I look at her, she grins like a little kid. I know that trick. It's just an excuse to eat one. Marissa puts her arm around my shoulder. This is so true. Well, fine. I make a big deal out of rolling my eyes, but only one. You'll spoil your dinner. Marissa hops on her toes and wiggles her fingers over the tops of the cupcakes before choosing one in the middle. I try not to stare, but can't help glancing over to check her facial expressions. Facial expressions don't lie. Mostly. Marissa's face is like a wall with no pictures on it. I can't tell what she's thinking. I guess I have to wait until she tells me. Does she really have to chew so thoroughly? I flip a towel against my leg. I need a distraction. Is Robin still at the park? Yes, Marissa swallows. Liam is there too. She wants you to stop by when you're done with Andy. I nod. If the cupcakes were nasty, Marissa wouldn't keep taking bites, right? She swallows the last bit and licks her fingers with a sigh, but still doesn't say anything. Well, my voice is so squeaky loud it echoes back and makes my ears ring for a second. Marissa lifts her hand for a high five. Excellent. Yeah, I slap her hand weakly. They turned out okay? Better than okay. Magnifico, fantastico, maravilloso. I smile, for reals this time. Thanks, Marissa. Marissa stands up straight. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. I came over here to borrow yeast. Sure, I gesture with my head. It's in the corner cupboard. Marissa rummages for a second, then pulls out a red container. This? Yep. She sets it on the island, shaking her head. A lot has changed, see? Before, I would never think to come to your house to borrow ingredients. I know, I grin over my shoulder. I'm still geeking out about it. In a flash of memory, I see everything that's happened in the last 6 months, like someone sped it all up for a montage of my baking evolution. That first day of culinary when I didn't even know how to read a recipe, experiment baking with Robin and then lessons from Tia, visiting the family bakery in Arizona, early mornings with Gigi, and now making up my own recipes. It has been a wild ride for sure. I shake my head and raise an eyebrow. Wait, how are you out of yeast? Tia ducks her head. I don't know how it happened. I thought I had another package in the pantry, but no. It's a sad, sad thing to have everything ready to make breadsticks, and there is no yeast. I search under the island for the sieve, and then I go to the pantry for powdered sugar. What are you making breadsticks for? I hope they are for me. I love Tia's breadsticks, all crunchy on the outside, soft and buttery in the middle. My tummy gives a little growl to remind me it's still there, in case I forgot. Marissa laughs. Dinner tonight, remember? I shake my head and then nod. I've been totally focused on Andy's party. Whoops. The powdered sugar came out too fast and goes right up my nose. I bend away from the food to sneeze. Here. Marissa hands me a tissue and finishes filling the sieve for me. She uses a measuring cup instead of dumping it like I did. Imagine that. I blow my nose with a loud trumpeting sound. I totally forgot about family fun night. It doesn't even feel like Friday. Was I supposed to make something? Not tonight. Marissa slides the powdered sugar back into the pantry. I'm making breadsticks. Your mama made the salad. We are all set. I toss the tissue in the trash and look at her. All we're having for dinner is salad and breadsticks? Marissa doesn't turn around. I didn't say that. No. I wash my hands and dry them off real quick so I can be the one to shake powdered sugar over the cupcakes. That's my favorite part. What aren't you telling me? Marissa turns slowly. Nothing you need to know. Does that mean you could tell me something I should know? No, that means I can't tell you what you don't know until the time comes for you to know what I can't tell you yet. Marissa's eyes sparkle. I give Marissa a gremlin face and then turn my full attention to the cupcakes because they deserve it more. Cupcakes would never tease me. Cupcakes understand.